Hi guys. Today I will tell you which subject and which syllabus you need to read for scientific programming in Python. I will tell you the only topics of the scientific programming languages step by step. First, you have to learn the way of the program, in which includes the Python programming language, how to program, what is programming, how to debugging, formal and natural languages, the first program, and the second is variables. You have to know the variables, expressions, and the statements, which includes uh, values and types, variables and formulations, and the commands, compositions. And third, you need to learn functions, which includes function calls, type conversions, type correlation, math functions, compositions, adding new functions, definitions and use, flow of execution, parameters and arguments. Variables and parameters are local, stack diagrams, functions with results, etc. And the fourth chapter, you have to learn the conditionals and recursions, the modules operators, boolean expressions, logical operators, conditional executions, alternative execution, clean conditions, nested conditions, return statement, recursion, stack diagrams for recursive functions, infinite recursion, keyboard input, glossaries. And the fifth chapter, you need to learn fruitful functions, return values, program development, composition, boolean functions, more recursion, leap of faith, one more example, checking types. And the sixth chapter, you need to learn the iteration, which include multiple assignment, the while statement, tables, two-dimensional tables, encapsulation and the generalization, more encapsulations, local variables, more generalizations and functions. In the seventh chapter, you need to learn strings, compound data types, which include length, transversal and the flow, for loop, string slices, string comparisons, strings and immutable, affine functions, looping and continuing, the string module, characters classifications, etc. And the eighth chapter, you need to learn the lists, which include the list values, accessing elements, list length, list memberships, list and for loops, list operators, list slices, lists are mutable, list deletion, objects and values, aliasing, cloning list, list parameters, nested lists, matrices, strings and lists, glossaries. And the ninth chapter, you need to learn tuples. Tuples are basically data types, which includes the mutability and tuples, tuple assignments, tuples as return values, random numbers, list of random numbers, counting, many buckets, a single pass solution, and a glossary. And the 10th chapter, you need to learn dictionaries, which includes dictionary operations, dictionary methods, aliasing and copying, sparse matrices, hints, long integers, counting letters, glossaries. And the 11th chapter, you need to learn files and exceptions, which include text files, writing variables, dictionaries, pickling, exceptions, and a glossary. In 12th chapter, you need to learn classes and objects, which includes user-defined compound types, attributes, instances and arguments, seminis, rectangles, instances as return values, objects and immutable, copying, glossaries. In 13th chapter, you need to learn classes and functions, which include time, pure functions, modifiers, which is better for function, prototype development versus planning, generalization, algorithms, and glossaries. In 14th chapter, you need to learn classes and methods, which includes object-oriented features, print time, another examples, a more complicated examples, optional arguments, the initialization method, point revisions, operator overloading, polymorphisms, glossaries. In 15th chapter, you need to learn sets of objects, which include composition, card objects, class attributes, and the string method, comparing cards, decks, printing the decks, shuffling the decks, removing the dealing cards, glossary. In 16th chapter, we need to learn inheritances, which include inheritance basics, a hand of card, dealing cards, printing a hand, the card game classes, all limit hand classes, all limit game classes, glossaries. In 17th chapter, you need to learn linked lists, which include embedded references, the node classes, list as a collections, list and recursions, infinite lists, the fundamental ambiguity theorem, modifying lists, wrappers and helpers, the linked list, invariants, glossaries. In 18th chapter, you need to learn stakes, abstract data types, which include the stake ADT, implementing stakes with Python list, pushing and popping, using the stake to evaluate postfix, parsing, evaluating postfix, clients and providers, glossary. In 19th chapter, you need to learn queues, which include the queue ADT, linked queues, performance characters, improved linked queues, priority queues, the golfer class, glossary. In 20th chapter, we need to learn trees, which include building trees, transverse trees, expression trees, tree transversal, building an expression tree, handling errors, the animal trees, glossary. And the next, you need to learn debugging, which include syntax errors, runtime errors, semantic errors. And then last, you need to learn the creating a new data type, which include function multiplication, function addition, includes algorithms, comparing fractions, taking it further, recommendation for further readings, and much more. So when you will learn and read these books according to these chapters and according to these lessons, you will become a Python as a data scientist, because in this chapter you everything is included regarding mathematical and statistical. Even you can learn as a programming language. So if you need any help regarding to learn this Python chapter in this scientific programming course, I will help you and I will give you to solve your problems regarding scientific programming in Python. So thank you so much. If you are new user, don't forget to subscribe my YouTube channel and also share it to your all friends. Thank you so much. Goodbye and bye bye. See you next time. Bye.